I could have rickrolled the entire FIFA World Cup. All I needed was my ID. They fixed it without ever responding to me. I had called FIFA, MediaKind, HBS, CISA, and the FBI at 3 a.m. Tokyo time just to get someone to listen. This is that story. What a beautiful start to a story. So FIFA has this thing called FIFA Agent Platform. It's a public portal where you can register to become a licensed football agent. To submit your ID, verify your email, and you are in. Simple enough. What I didn't expect what was happened next. When you register on agents.fifa.org, FIFA adds your account to their Microsoft Entra tenant, formerly Azure AD. That means after Jesus came, by the way, if you're wondering. Little terminology tip for y'all. It's like Anno Dominio or something. It means like after child or something. That's the same tenant that powers all of FIFA's internal platforms, and I mean all of them. My first 2 attempts actually failed because the lighting on my photo ID wasn't good enough. Okay. Registration failed during the last step checking your identification. Apparently, FIFA has higher standards for my selfie than my actual security. But the 3rd attempt went through. I received this beautiful email. We are happy to be a part of FIFA's agent platform. You can now access your account and apply for a FIFA license by clicking on the buttons below. Okay, awesome. FIFA FAP. Yo, brothers, I'm not a gooner, but having a FAP account for FIFA is insane, okay? Oh my goodness, this is too funny. How's that FAP registration coming along? Can't quite get it in yet. Really rejected my IDs. Oh my goodness. Let's see. FIFA's agent platform is officially called FAP. I cannot make this up. FAP confirmation. Moving on. The access denied, that wasn't. After registration, I tried to navigate to fdp.fifa.org, FIFA's football data platform. The app authenticated me through their shared Entra tenant, checked my roles, and found I had none, and showed me, sorry, you don't have any access to this crap. It looks like, it looks like it worked, right? Access denied. Go away. You see nothing. Except this was all client side. Oh my gosh, that cannot. Okay, so I do want to say something about AI for a second. There's 2 problems, right? First problem is whether or not AI wrote this program. My guess is that they probably didn't, and this is old enough that it existed beforehand. I would guess. I'm guessing here, okay? I'm giving FIFA the benefit of the doubt. First and foremost, there's a lot of really bad engineers. Okay, you need to understand that like 80 to 90% of people participating, it's a weak FAP, honestly, a weak FAP. For people that are participating in engineering, they get to the point of getting a job and never learn again. You've all worked with them. We've all worked with them. They have absolutely no interest at all furthering their skills or becoming better. And so these kind of errors have existed long before AI ever landed. But AI learned on the copious amounts of data that's available on the internet. Okay, and whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. It learned on the internet. So using Primogen's basic number theory algorithm here, if this represents the halfway point of the bottom 50% of engineers and the top 50% of engineers, straight line, not so straight line, not happy about that. Anyway, so if that's the case, that means about this much are people who don't necessarily apply themselves that much. Okay, all of this right here is just people who don't apply themselves very much. These are people that apply themselves a whole bunch and try super freaking hard to be good at what they do. And they're the ones that are reviewing this layer of people's work. Whoopsies, let me just rewrite that one. This layer of people's work to make the internet effectively and other applications successful. This side, I don't know what to describe this side as, but this side's a very painful side. That means that the LLMs have roughly probably trained on something like this. The LLMs have probably trained on this amount of people's information, plus this amount of people's information. Because let's just face it, for whatever reason, the dumbest people you can possibly find love posting blog posts about programming. I don't know what it is. It just exists. It keeps on existing. It has existed for all time. And so these are the only people, these are the true midwits, and they're amazing, or the true like dumb side of the curve, and they're amazing. They're great to work with. They're just really happy. They just want to be there and they want to learn. I absolutely love them. It's all the midwits and the other side. Not good. By the way, this is also Slack's notification scheme, right? This is Slack's notification diagram right now. If you're wondering what's happening, this is why you only receive a notification 30% of the time. All right. With that in mind, if I were to transpose this, that means that about 70%, let's go with, about 70% of the data is going to be existing from here and downwards. And that's pretty much going to be the majority of the data that is being trained on. And so therefore, the training for programming on these agents, that middle answer often comes from somewhere in this region, and it hurts. It's emotionally painful. And so will this problem exist? Yes, this problem will always exist because you also have to have somebody that knows how to not ask for this to happen. You have to know that this doesn't happen. This is like the whole danger of vibe coding and everything is you don't even know what you don't know. And so how are you not supposed to have this happen? I just want to give everybody a little warning. You should learn. You should take your time and learn and become good at what you're doing. And then once you're really good at what you're doing, things get a lot easier. All right, welcome to the streaming management panel. After bypassing the client guards, I landed on the streaming management panel and my jaw hit the floor. Look at that beauty. You can just go in there and start editing stuff. Every single FIFA World Cup 2026 match with streaming controls. This wasn't a dev environment. It wasn't test data. It was a live production streaming management tool for FIFA World Cup 2026. Every match, every camera angle, every RTMP ingest URL, every stream key. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Every stream key. Oh my goodness. Look at that beauty. Look at that beauty. Tactical. I don't even know what that means. Camera 1. 5 camera angles per match. Each match had 5 camera feeds, a RTMP ingest URL, a preview manifest, an output URL. The RTMP ingest looks like this. A bunch of like numbers, this thing, and then a bunch more numbers in a port. Okay, the UUID at the end, that's the stream key, not a real one. It's shared across all 5 camera angles for the same match. One key to rule them all. The streaming infrastructure is hosted on MediaKind, FIFA streaming technology partner. These are production endpoints, the same ones receiving live camera feeds from stadiums across the US, Mexico, and Canada. I opened VLC. It was live. I had confirmed the preview manifest actually works, so I copied one into VLC. Wow, look at that. Wow, got a live camera feed. That's a live tactical camera feed from the active FIFA World Cup 2026 match playing in my VLC on my PC in Tokyo. I closed it immediately, but the damage was done to my brain. Oh, how could you ever let this go? How could you not mess with somebody? I can't believe this was not hacked. How was this not hacked? The discipline in this guy, it's insane. The discipline in this guy is absolutely unhinged. I do not see how you don't rickroll people, let alone how many worse things people would do. Those preview URLs served live video during active matches to anyone with the URL. It wasn't just read access. The streaming management panel had full controls. Start, stop, schedule for every match, every angle. Oh my goodness, you could stop the match. One click. That's all it would take to kill the live World Cup camera feed. I did not touch any of those controls, but they were there, functional, waiting for anyone with no roles account to press them. Man, oh, that's just so juicy. How do you not press them? Let me spell out what this means. Those RTMP ingest URLs are the literal pipe from the stadium cameras to the FIFA broadcast distribution chain. Camera, RTMP ingest, MediaKind, broadcast partners, your TV. If an attacker pushed a video to one of those RTMP endpoints with the stream key, which is right there in the URL, they would replace the camera feed. The PGM program feed is the main broadcast output. Replace that, and every TV network receiving the FIFA feed shows whatever you pushed. The stream key is shared across all 5 camera angles per match. A single attacker could hijack every camera simultaneously. Man, how did they not rickroll people? An attacker could have rickrolled an entire FIFA World Cup. That's like 1.5 billion people. That would have been the greatest rickroll of all time. I am so happy I don't recreationally hack, right? Like if I was in charge of recreationally hacking, I would be in jail already. There's no way. There's just no way I could make it through this one, okay? Nope. To be honest, I think they deserved it, really. But wait, there's more. The streaming management panel wasn't the only thing exposed. My no roles account had access to the entire platform. Competition, matches, teams, tools, exchange platform, analysis dashboards, commentary information system, FIFA AI Pro, admin, all access to. What is AI Pro? I gotta know about that. The platform also had full live match dashboard with embedded video player, real-time event timeline, and match officials data. This is Ecuador. Live embedded video feed, yellow card timeline, match officials. The live badge isn't decorative. Advanced analytics, live match. Oh yeah, really? Live possession control, attempt creation breakdowns, ball recover timing, distance covered, and FIFA AI Pro integration. Here's where it gets worse. The management tab on fdp.fifa.org has write operations, and the backend accepts them from no-role accounts. At 36 years and 222 days, Valencia is the oldest outfield player to make the FIFA World Cup appearance for Ecuador, beating the world record of Edison Mendez, 50 or 35 years, 96 days, versus Honduras in 2014. Oh, that's funny. You could just do stuff. Update live stats. With a rich text editor, match stats, match score fields, edit and publish. Holy cow, they left everything open. Attendance, possession, post-match statistics, team registration statistics, analysis finished, score and statistics. Is this how Trump overruled the red card? Is this how he did it? I don't even know what a red card is. I didn't even know. But when I saw it, I just said, hey, we can't have a red card. Nope. Can we all laugh at that for a second? That was the funniest way to announce you did something. It was absolutely insane to be like, I don't even know what it is. So I said, don't do it. And the USA still lost. I am so happy that USA lost because now all the Americans can just stop pretending we like soccer. Finally, we can just get that out of our system. We can all move on and get back to what we really want. For real, I know. Just let it go already, right? Our goalie is awesome. Our goalie. Don't mess with the USA goalie, okay, buddy? No, I'm not talking about football. Football has too much high concussions and all that. No, I'm not talking about football. I think the concussion stuff and all that, it's not very good for football. So let's not even bring it up, honestly. Score and statistics, adjust kickoff moment, performance data. Dude, you could have just done so many funny things. Oh my gosh. You could modify editorial commentary notes and publish them to the broadcast systems. You could get people to say things. Oh my goodness. You could have had live announcer shoutouts. Change scores, match statistics. This data feeds into the commentary information system and gets displayed on live television. Commentator information system was also accessible with no roles. This real-time dashboard that the broadcast commentators use during live matches. Oh my goodness. The FIFA World Cup 2026 dashboard, live scores, upcoming matches, results. You could have just had the funniest stuff. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. When a commentator says, fun fact, Enter Valencia at 36 years and 222 days is the oldest outfield player to make the FIFA World Cup appearance for Ecuador. This is where that comes from. My account could see every editorial note, every pre-match stats kit, every talking point prepared for every match. You could have had the funniest notes you could have added. You could have added a note that sounded super good to begin with, so as they were reading it, it just goes from normal to completely unhinged half. Oh my goodness. Just like Anchorman, it's literally behind Anchorman. How is this not behind a VPN? Yeah, I mean, how is this not just on an internal network? Not even a VPN. Like, how is this just not an internal network? I guess, yeah, VPN. A VPN or an internal network that is established, like, seems crazy. Yeah, there has to be a VPN. There has to minimally be a VPN, but just like anything. Like, how is this? Just remember, as I always like to say, AI is a multiplier. You're multiplying everybody's ability to make decisions. Everybody's. The exposed dev environment. As a bonus, I found the Azuware function app at spreadsheets API.azuwarewebsites.net. Beautiful. That's a beautiful name. That returned metadata and direct Azuware blob storage download URLs for 23 internal FIFA files. Ooh. The transfer reports, revenue comparisons, board level representation data, referee and coach statistics, and whatever Debbie.xl, whatever this is. Who's Debbie? Wow. How do you not look at what Debbie Windows spreadsheet window thingy is? Excel. The words Excel. I found all this while the World Cup was underway. Matches are happening, the RTMP URLs are active, stream keys are exposed, and FIFA has no bug bounty program, no security.txt, and no public security contact. What followed was the most stressful night of my life. Attempt 1, email. I fired off a disclosure to FIFA, to every FIFA email I could find or guess. Dude, why do that? Just use the board report, right? Grab all of the execs' names that appeared in any of the minutes. I bet you could find them, and then just personally call them and be like, "Bro, your stuff's about to explode. Please, you gotta let me help you." Crazy. Why would a football competition have a bug bounty? Because if they mess up, people can override the broadcast and potentially break laws in every single country. Let's just pretend this guy didn't wear a white hat, but instead wore a black hat. All he would need to do is upload a singular pornography image, and boom. FIFA is now sued into oblivion, right? That's it, allegedly. Yeah, like that's all they had to do. Like, so many countries would be like, FIFA, you're dead. You're dead, right? It would not take that long. And then, especially if you had access to all of the URLs, by definition, isn't this gray hat? No, I think by definition, this is white hat, right? They're doing hacking and then immediately calling people and letting them know, right? I thought Gay hat? No, gay hat's a completely different. That's not. We're not even talking about hacking at that point. But it's not through any program. Oh, okay, okay. White hat has permission. Okay, I wasn't sure if I thought white hat simply was they don't hack and take things. Gray hat is like they're a little bit more fungible on what they do that is good and bad. Man, that's debatable. And then black hat's where they only hack for evil. I thought that was like, okay, well, I'm an idiot, so don't, guys, I ask low level learning. Whatever he says, that's fine. I'm just gonna whatever he says. It's a whole the whole conversation is the whole hat conversation is lame. Okay, yeah. White hat equals like good. They do it for good. Black hat means they do it for evil. Gray hat means it's a bit ambivalent. Which you don't know where they're gonna go with it. That's what I always took it. I prefer ass hat myself. Now that's the hat I wear. All right, so sends off a whole bunch of this one. 5 of them bounced. The rest went into the void. No responses. WhatsApp. I found Sebastian Rung, head of football technology and data at FIFA, 14 years at the org on LinkedIn. His phone number was listed. I WhatsApped him. No response. I called this number. It was closed. Sunday. Zurich. I called this one. It was closed. Called this one. Dallas Convention Center. At the K. Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center in Dallas. I called this number, got a voicemail, left a message. MediaKind. This was the breakthrough. I called MediaKind's toll-free line. Someone picked up. They understood the issue immediately. They asked me to email the details with the stream keys as proof. I did. Hey, dude, think of whoever they just talked to. What were the bad guys, right? Because you might be talking to someone that is not necessarily working for good. They could have also been a bad guy. Like, how do I know you're the good guy that I can just hand stream keys over? Also, if someone answering the phones has access to the stream keys, that's crazy. Like, that is an unsecure organization. That's like insane that you could just be like, yo, just email me the stream keys. Imagine Nirasama goes, dude, I would love that. What the hell am I even looking at? All right. HBS, host broadcast service. I called this one. They said they didn't have anyone that could help and hung up. Sorry, not our problem. In Front Sports Media. Called, no answer. CISA. Here's where things got interesting. I discovered a CISA, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, is a federal lead on cybersecurity for the FIFA World Cup 2026, including broadcast systems. I called their 24/7 operations. They picked up, they listened, they asked me for email the details. I did. The FBI. I have existing contacts at the FBI. Dude, I don't have contacts at the FBI. Whoever says that, I just think you work for the CIA. I think, or the NSA. I think you work for the government, buddy. I have contacts at the FBI. Okay, Fed. Nice try, Federale. I know what you've been doing. Narc. That's cold. Dude, it's such a narc. I have contacts at McDonald's. Yeah, my contacts extend to my local country club. Like, that's about as far up the food chain as I could go. Found the streaming management panel. Jaw hit the floor. Open preview. Yep, did all that one. Contacted. Messaged FBI contacts. They respond. Next day, vulnerability fixed. No response from FIFA. Let's see. The whole thing boils down to one architectural mistake: client-side authorization with no server-side enforcement. Just one architectural mistake. I just want to let you know that any organization that has this issue is not one architectural mistake. This entire thing, whatever's going on, has to be, hands down, some of the worst programming with so many backdoors ever. Yeah, honestly, that's a good call, Ben. They should have had a separate UUID microservice to ensure that they have unique UUIDs. Store every you know what I say? Store every UUID you ever use, just in case. I mean, there is a chance you could be sharing a UUID with somebody that you love. Do you know that? Could be bad. I know. This is insane. I have now, like, my personal opinion now of FIFA is that they have the single most vulnerable, horrible code ever in the universe. That whatever is going on over there, absolute amateur hour stuff. You cannot and will not convince me that if somebody has client-side authorization and not a single server-side enforcement, there's just no way I'm believing you, right? Like, I refuse to believe that that's the case. How do you even client-side auth verification? You don't. You can't. The only form of authentication / verification you can do is that what comes from the server is signed, right? So here's like the most simple version of what it does, right? This is like I'm sure whatever happens today is much more confusing. You can imagine you have a payload that contains information about your user, who I am, all that kind of information, right? It takes this and it puts a little dot right there, usually in the message, and then it adds a bunch of characters at the end. Sometimes this is at the beginning. I'm not really sure what standards do these days, but it looks something like this. I'm always very optimistic, by the way, so my straight lines usually end upwards. If you were to edit this, the server knows because of this that you've edited that, because this is used to calculate that with some crazy hashing algorithm plus some sort of extra super secret salt plus who knows what else is going on. Okay, there's some hashing going on here. I don't really know what they do today, but I know that it looks something like this. Okay, and so for the client, they know that if they get a message like this from the server, this is just who they are. And so they can go and they can make any sort of request and do all that. It's the server that's supposed to go, hey, bro, hold up. You don't have access to this. It's crazy that the client can do any sort of decision making. The client just simply needs to go, oh, yeah, you're an admin, if it says admin. It's a JWT, as they call it. It's header body signature. Yeah, I mean, back in my day, okay, back when I was making web apps myself, it was just body.signature, okay, tough guy? You still need to decide in the FE what to show based on role. Well, yes, but anything that you show doesn't have the data embedded in it, so you don't have to worry about that, right? Because if your client actually had all the data just come down, then obviously you could still get hacked, even if the rules were like, oh, you're not allowed to see this, right? The front end should just only simply show the information it's shown. There should not be some sort of, you should strive with as much rigor as possible not to have a whole bunch of conditional showing. It's like, yo, if that thing is there, I show the thing. That's it. You don't come up with these gigantic schemes of how the front end works. The front end should just purely be whatever the back end says. That's all it is. We don't have to do anything crazy. FIFA's internal application uses Microsoft Entra for authentication and role-based access. The Angular React View front ends check the JWT tokens for role claims and rendered access denied pages accordingly. Well, the front end should not check for this. Again, so this is what I'm talking about. Front end should not check for this. You make a request. The request goes to the server. The server just responds with 400 of some sort, and then that's it. I forget the exact one. Whether it's I forget which is the access denied. Is that 403? I can't remember. Forbidden. There you go. 403. You can do like a 403. You just do something, right? You're like, yo, you can't stop it. You're an asshole, right? That's what you're supposed. That's what's supposed to happen, right? It's not that the front end should ever make a decision, right? The front ends don't have decision-making frameworks. Front end goes, oh, 403, access denied. Right? It shouldn't be like, oh, do you have permissions for this endpoint? No. Honestly, blame RSC for this mentality. You think so? I mean, the problem with HTTP codes and all of this honestly started long before. Part of it started with when I was working on Falcor/GraphQL, right? Both the same kind of data fetching frameworks that have kind of the same idea, which is that all of your data exists locally. They're just behind an async interface, and you don't have to really think about it. You just say, hey, give me all the code. And so your app kind of exists in this like singular kind of state. It doesn't actually rely on this back and forth between HTTP. So even when there's an access error, it comes back with a 200. And then afterwards, it goes, oh, yeah, that 200 says internally it's actually bad. It's a 418. I'm a teapot. It's just like, no, that's not what's happening. So there's the 200 is error meme, right? This thing. Like, this is literally it right here, right? Server, client, 200, 400 bad request. Like, this is the problem that happens somewhere along the way is we embedded HTTP codes and now nobody has any idea how the internet works. Failed successfully, bro. Yeah, GraphQL is one of the very beginner versions of this. Largely, honestly, it's just way easier if you just have an API behave properly with HTTP. Then everybody just knows, right? You don't have to play this weird game of inspecting responses to determine if you had a bad response, right? That just seems like, it seems insane in my head, right? Like, looking back on this, I would have told myself 10 years ago not to make this. Because that's stupid. But I made that. Register on agents.fifa.org public. Get added to this thing. Do all this. Okay, we already saw all this. Blah, 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 blah. Get all of the delicious. The fix. Sometime between my reports and the next morning, the vulnerability was patched. My no rules account returned 403 responses from the server, not just the client. There you go. That's the proper way to do it. FIFA never responded, never acknowledged the report. Not to say thank you, not to discuss compensation, nothing. They should have definitely done that. Honestly, FIFA deserved that. I mean, if a black hat hacker got on there, tried to sell crypto coin, which they could have done very successfully, they could have, I mean, there's so many things they could have done, and they could have made so much money and absolutely destroyed FIFA. And so that should have happened. They did leave me on the FDP email distribution list. I am still receiving official FIFA World Cup 2026 match documents, start list, tactical lineups, full-time match reports, all sent from no reply, fdpfifa.org in 4 languages. You fixed it fast. Credit where credit is due. But get this, yep, Absolutely. Publish a VDP vulnerability disclosure policy. You are the biggest running sports event on earth. It is crazy to have what is it? World Cup viewership. Last time I checked, it was 1.5 billion. I thought for the last one. For the total amount of people, right? It's the most viewed event on the planet. Let's see, yeah, there you go. In 2022, the final between Argentina and France reached a global total audience of 1.42 billion. That's insane. To put it into perspective, live Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul viewership. This one peaked at 65 million concurrent with 108 million live global viewers. So it's like that's literally a 15th of the size. Bro's hacking for the love of the game. He did. They didn't even explore the issue. Yeah.